My name is Derek, and today we're doing something a little bit different. It's an honor to have on the channel Canadian men's singles phenomenon, Brian Yang.
Brian Yang has pulled off something truly remarkable here.
22 years young, Brian just had an amazing run of tournaments to start 2024, with a notable finish making history for Canada by being the first men's singles player to compete for gold at the 2024 Indonesia Masters. Happy Lunar New Year to you, Brian, and welcome to Sweet Spot Badminton.
Hey, Derek. Happy Lunar New Year to you too. And it's good to be here. Thanks for having me. And thanks for that epic introduction as well.
Me, as well as many badminton fanatics around the world, are very excited to get to know you more. So let's dive in. In Indonesia Masters, you lost the first, but came back in the second game against Anthony Ginting, but won the first and lost the second game against Anders Antonsen. What was your mindset leading into the third game in your semifinals and then again in the finals?
Honestly, I think in the semis, I was just kind of, like glad to be in a third game, to be honest, because I already lost the first game. I think in the second game I was losing for most of the match, most of the game as well. But then at the end I kind of came back. So yeah, I was just kind of already, a bit, kind of content with my performance already. I just, try to enjoy this third game and then, just try to take the pressure off myself and just see where it goes. Whereas I think in the finals, once I hit that third game, I was kind of like a bit more nervous, especially since he was the one who got the second game back. So I was like kind of like, in it to win it, right? I didn't want to lose in the finals. And so the third game, I was like, okay, I have to like, this is the time to do it. And I think, that's not a bad mindset to have, of course, but, it also could I think it gave me a little bit more pressure. And maybe I could have played a bit better, but in the end, I think it was a good performance still, and I'm happy with how it went.
Yeah, I agree. That was still an amazing performance. The crowd was roaring and cheering for their hometown hero. You were down 15-19 in the final set against Anthony Ginting, and he's only 2 points away from winning. Then you hit an amazing cross-court smash to win the point, and you got your service back. Suddenly, like to everyone's surprise, you changed to the high forehand serve. And even the commentator, so like a high forehand serve, very rare for men's singles. Even the commentator said, this it could be a stroke of genius when you made the change. Yeah. So tell us, why did you switch? Like, what made you switch to the forehand serve when you've been doing the backhand serve all game? What made you change to the forehand serve?
Yeah, so basically, Ginting is known for like his really good deceptions and stuff, and that's especially strong when you're serving, right? Because like that gives him basically a guaranteed opportunity to kind of do a fake, and all through the second half, like after interval in the third game, he was just giving me so much pressure on those holds and those deceptions off the serve. And I know some people are probably thinking like, why didn't I just backhand flick serve? And I think that's definitely that definitely was an option, but I also felt a bit scared to do that as well, because I think I tried a few times, maybe once or twice beforehand in the match, and he just like hit a smash winner right away, because he's like so fast moving back as well. And I think I just couldn't get like enough height on the backhand flick to give me enough time to get ready. So yeah, once I was down 15-19, I was like, okay, if I get this serve back, I'm just gonna serve forehand, just give myself a lot of time to defend, because like at that point I was already thinking like I'm already losing by 4 points, it's like he's 2 points away from the match, and the backhand serve isn't working. So I might as well try something different and see how it goes, right?
Yeah.
And so I just tried it, and I think he was a bit thrown off. He wasn't really comfortable with it, and made a few mistakes, and I ended up coming back, which was really crazy.
Yeah, he let the first one drop on the line, and then
Yeah,
in all, he's right off the serve, he smashed it cross court out.
yeah, yeah. Like I think definitely
How
he
much
was like
relief did
really.
you feel when you served and then it's like quick point out?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, at
Point.
16, when I like, my hand was shaking so much. My left hand holding the bird, I was scared I was gonna like hit it out or like hit it too short, but I just somehow managed to hit it on the line on the first serve. I was like, thank God.
Yeah, it was perfect because he challenged it, or I think yeah, he
Yeah,
challenged
yeah, he
it
did.
too. Yeah, and then was there any drift that you had to deal with when you were serving as well?
Yeah, it's a bit of back and forth drift, so I had to be careful of that too, which is why I was really scared. But yeah, it worked out in the end.
Yeah, it did. You played very well through the round in Indonesia, topping or tumbling top players like one after the other. But then you also had to compete in Malaysia Open and India Open, where you had really hard first rounds against Naroka and Li Jia.
Yeah.
Uh, so how did you keep up with your training so you can still perform in Indonesia Masters, while you were traveling for the 3 weeks?
Um, Honestly, I just trained with whoever I could, and usually that was with the other Canadians. So like Michelle, Neil, Adam, those guys. Um, and just a lot of work in the gym as well, just to maintain my fitness. But yeah, I think like just like getting enough time in the gym is really important for me, personally at least. So I feel like, if my body doesn't feel strong, if I don't feel fit, then like I won't have the confidence for the tournament.
So can you elaborate a little bit more on like what do you do in the gym to make sure that you are, maintaining your fitness? Like what do you like to do when you're traveling overseas and you need to hit the gym?
So I think the most important for me is uh getting like a good run in, like on the treadmill. Just like, get the breathing like a bit heavy. Like just get that cardio in. Because personally for me, I feel like that's the most important thing for me in singles is like if I'm not if my stamina's not good enough, then like I have no chance against these guys, right? So that's like I think the main priority for me. And then second is just a lot of lower body stuff. Um, Not like super heavy lifting, just like kind of making sure the legs are active, like maybe some more explosive stuff. A lot of jumps, like lunges, maybe a bit of like heavy squat, but like um just like moderate weight. Um, but yeah, that's like basically what the most important things for me personally.
Now, that's very insightful. Thank you. You have trained periodically with Victor Axelson in Dubai, and he's a good friend of yours now.
Yeah,
It was a pleasure to have you both in Seattle,
yeah.
showcasing your talents at the Bellevue Badminton Club. What was the process, and how did you start training with Victor?
Uh, so actually, it's pretty like it just he kind of messaged me out of nowhere on Instagram. I think it was 2021, before the Olympics. I think it was like maybe around, March or April.
Oh,
Um,
so he slid into your DMs first.
yeah, yeah, he slid into my
Okay.
DMs. Um, he messaged me on Instagram and he was like, I'm thinking of doing a camp, like I'm thinking of doing a camp in Dubai after Olympics, and he invited me to go, and when I first saw the message, I thought it was like a catfish. Like I thought it was a fake account or something. Because I was like,
Yeah.
there's no way the real Victor is messaging me. But like I double checked his profile and he was verified and stuff. And so I was like, I mean, yeah, of course, I would love to. That's literally how it started. Is pretty much.
So cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you would just go there for a camp and then like how many times have you been there now?
I think now I've been 4 times. Um, most recent time was I was there over the New Year, like right before the Malaysia and like that Asia tour. Um, but yeah, I basically just whenever he invites me and whenever as the schedule works out for me, I try to go there when I can.
Are you able to give us any brief description or like what goes on in the camps? Like just a quick rundown of like what you guys are doing.
Well, most days are there's the morning session, maybe like an hour and a half to 2 hours. There's like on-court drills, and then the afternoon session will be like light skills, technical stuff, plus a gym session, like an individual gym session on your own. Um, but the morning sessions are a lot of two against one stuff. Shorter intervals, like a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes, um, with like maybe 30-second break in between or something. And then we go like 4 or 5 rounds of that. So it's like super intense. Like the intensity is super high, so it's like really tough. Um, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And then sometimes, especially when it's closer to a tournament, then we do a bit more like match play, like points. Um, but it's like honestly, it's not that different from like your average training session. It's just the intervals are shorter and there's a bit more breaks in between, but that's kind of the European style of training.
Hmm. And it's
Yeah.
only one on court a day in the morning.
Yeah. So like
Okay.
yeah, like one like tough session in the morning and then the afternoon session will be like real pretty chill.
No, that sounds good.
Yeah. I mean it's really really tough. Every time I'm there, I'm like exhausted all the time. So
What do you believe you do that most other players in Canada, United States, or even the other Pan Am countries don't do or don't do enough in order for them to break through?
um I mean that's a pretty tough question because I can't really say I know how other people train and what they do, but um for me, I honestly don't think I'm doing like anything out of the ordinary or like anything crazy. Um, I just spend a lot of time playing badminton and training and trying to improve myself. And I think, that like for me, I kind of made that sacrifice. Like I kind of made that choice a while ago. And so I'm kind of sacrificing my like free time to like go out and stuff. Instead, I'm, on the court or I'm in the gym like working out. Um, so maybe like the amount of time and effort might be different, but I think like that's like the main thing, right? And just like maybe the training approach. I kind of have a good circle around me of like coaches and players, and my parents are a huge help as well. They help me, try and figure out what I'm missing and what I need to improve on, and so um, they help me kind of help me improve like that much percent more or faster. Um, but like, yeah, I think at this level, it's like it's really about those small percentages of improvement, right? You can't really expect a huge jump all of a sudden. It has to be like gradual, day by day. Um, just like you gotta grind it out, and hopefully the results will show in the end.
Yeah, I really admire that. And I do agree. One thing a lot of the top players, I do see a lot of juniors and upcoming players trying to get to the top. And one thing that you said that I totally resonate with is the amount of sacrifice. And right now, with all these distractions with, phones and social media, video games and other quick pleasures,
Yeah.
those are the things that, if you want to be the best at something, you need to be able to sacrifice and to really focus and be disciplined in your goal. And I can
Yeah.
definitely see, you being one of the athletes who that have that self-control to, say no and focus on what needs to be done. And
Yeah.
yeah, again, it really shows in your performance and in your results.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. So that's it. Thank you, Brian, for taking the time to talk with us today. There's nothing left today but to wish you continued success on your ongoing Olympic qualification. So please let our fans know, how can they follow you? What can they look forward to from you next?
Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram. It's at byang2001. And my next tournament is actually the Pan Am team event, the qualifier for the Thomas and Uber Cup. It's in Brazil next week. And then next on like the World Tour is there's a bunch of tournaments in Europe, so I'll be playing the German Open, the French Open, and the All England. That's in like kind of end of February to mid-March. Um, so yeah, that's where I'll be next.
All right. Thank you again, Brian. Happy Lunar New Year. Good luck in those tournaments.
Yeah,
Talk to you soon.
thank you for having me.
All right. Take care. Bye bye.
Yeah, see you.